Rights of a partners meant to participate in management and conduct of a business, to be consulted and give his opinion on all the matters. मतलब कोई भी मैटर होगा, कोई भी डिस्कशन होगा, each and every partner should participate in it. We can't take any decision without even a single partner. ठीक है? फिर to have access to all the records and book of account of the business, they will assess each and every book of accounts. To share profit and loss in agreed ratio, what will be the agreed ratio? It will be in the agreement. Entitled to interest on capital only out of profit. If business is earning profit, then they will be getting interest on capital. If any partner has advanced the loan to the business, see यहाँ पे क्या, entitled to receive interest on loan, who will be receiving the interest? Who will be receiving the interest? Partners from business. Okay, so when the partner will advance the loan to the business, if the rate is specified in partnership deed, then that rate of interest will be charged, है ना? And if no rate is mentioned, then we will be charging interest at 6% per annum. The rate will be 6% per annum. And to retire from the firm after giving proper notice. And any partners can retire from a firm, but after giving a proper notice. Proper notice generally means a 15-day notice at least needed in a business. Okay. Now we will be discussing what are the duties of a partners. See, to properly carry on the business of the firm, there should be a proper carry business, because they can't do any illegal activities. They can't do any such activity which will incur losses in the business. उसके बाद, to be just and faithful to each other. No partner will ever try to make fraud out of each other. To render true account and full information of all things affecting the business. There should be a full disclosure. There is one accounting principle also, full disclosure of accounting information to the owners. मतलब हर partners को पता होना चाहिए कि उनके business में क्या चल रहा है, नहीं चल रहा. To compensate the firm for any loss caused by his negligence. If any of the partners causes any kind of loss because of his negligence, personally he is liable for that. So it is his duty that he must compensate the firm. He should pay that money to the firm. ठीक है ना? And to contribute equally to the losses sustained by the firm. Not necessarily equally needed. Means whatever will be the agreed ratio, in that agreed ratio, and if there is no ratio between the partners, then it will be in equal ratio. ठीक है? Now we comes to partnership deed. यहाँ तक में तो कोई दिक्कत नहीं है. Rights of a partner, duties of a partner and partnership, ये तो सबको clear हो गया?
Yes sir.
Now we will be discussing about partnership deed. What does partnership deed means? So whenever there is an agreement, a written document, a written agreement, that will be the partnership deed between the partners. ठीक है? तो a written document containing the term of agreement between the partners basically is a partnership deed. Now partnership deed is also known as article of partnership or partnership agreement. Remember this. बहुत जगह यूज होगा articles of partnership. Articles means all the rules, regulation, terms and condition, or we can say partnership agreement. So don't be confused. Okay. Now it may be written or oral, means partnership can be written or oral. Okay. Don't get confused over here with this. Partnership deed can be written or oral. No, partnership deed will always be written, but partnership can be written or oral. First, it should be signed by all the partners. Every partner will sign the deed. Those who want to be a partner in the business or is a partner in the business. ठीक है? And it should be properly stamped. Every business has their own stamp and it should be stamped. Stamp, basically, what does stamp mean to a business? Why there is a stamp in each and every document, necessary document in the business? Because it acts as a signature of a business. Okay, so if any of the document that is necessary for the business, there will always be a stamp. Without a stamp, that business, sorry, that agreement will be of no use, है ना? Not validated. Clear है? Now, provision in the absence of partnership deed. What are the provision if the partnership deed is absent? So, no salary and commission is allowed to the partners. Profit and losses will be shared equally. There will be no interest on capital. If partners advance loan to the firm, interest is allowed at 6% per annum. Remember this. Interest on loan will be allowed to the partner because they are giving the loan. So interest will be given to them. If it is mentioned in partnership deed, then that a rate of interest, and if there is no partnership deed, absence of partnership deed, then there will be a 6% per annum. And lastly, no interest is charged on drawing of a partner. So basically, we can say that profit and losses will be shared equally, and interest on loan will be allowed at 6%, and the rest nothing will be allowed. That is no salary or commission, no interest on capital, no interest on drawings. Got it?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Now we will be discussing about profit and loss. See, first of all, we will learn about profit and loss appropriation, and then we will move to partners capital account. Okay, so we will be starting with profit and loss appropriation account. So what is PL appropriation basically? Appropriation means, do you know what does appropriation mean?
Adjustment.
No. Appropriation is not adjustment. Anyone else? Means there is
Appropriate. Exact.
appropriate कहते हैं. तो what does appropriate mean?
Means exact distribution.
Distribute करना. What we will be distributing? Profits among the owners, that is partners. See, PL account भी बनता है. In PL account, we get to know about the net profit and net loss of the business. Okay, and after that, after knowing the net profit, we will distribute between the partners, basically among the partners. So for that we use PL appropriation account. So appropriation is distribution of profits. So it is an account that shows distribution of net profit or loss among partners. It is an extension of PL account. मतलब every time the PL account will be prepared, after that only PL appropriation will be prepared, because net profit is used in this. ठीक है? And what is the nature of PL appropriation? Nominal account. Achha, do you know how can we identify the nature of any account? Okay, it is written over here that it is a nominal account. But can you say that how can we decide whether it is a nominal, real, personal? If any new
Sir,
account
according to debit and credit rules.
according to debit and credit rules, or anything else?
No.
See, if in any account we calculate profit or loss, any of account where we calculate profit or loss, that will always be a nominal account. So it is PL appropriation. We are calculating profit and loss over here. So it will be a nominal account. It is a nominal account. ठीक है ना? Clear है? So nominal account का rule क्या होता है?
Debit all expenses and losses, credit all gains and
Or incomes and gains.
ठीक है? So debit all expenses and losses, credit all income and gain. So over here we will be assuming ourselves as a business. Okay, while making PL appropriation, we will assume ourselves as a business कि हम लोग business है. Now we will decide कि whether it is an expense or it is an income for us. ठीक है? जैसे interest on capital. Interest on capital is an expense or income for a business? बोलो।
expense,
इट इज एन एक्सपेंस। अब कैसे पता चलेगा कि इट इज एन एक्सपेंस? हम लोग कैसे कैलकुलेट किए? देखो यही सब चीज हम लोग को बेसिक समझना पड़ेगा। कैपिटल, वी नो व्हाट इज कैपिटल। कैपिटल कौन दिया? ओनर बिजनेस को। सो इफ ओनर बिजनेस में कैपिटल लगाया, देन हु विल बी पेइंग द इंटरेस्ट? Business will be paying the interest to the owner. So business is paying, so it is an expense for the business. Clear? So that is why if interest on capital is expense, it will be debited in profit and loss appropriation account. ठीक है ना? Now interest on drawing. क्या होगा? एक्सपेंस है कि इनकम है?
इनकम है सर,
income,
इनकम है। और इनकम है तो कहाँ जाएगा वो?
क्रेडिट
पीएल
साइड
अप्रोप्रिएशन,
Credit side.
क्रेडिट। चलो बढ़िया, क्रेडिट साइड। तो ये तो क्लियर हो गया ना कि हम लोग को डेबिट किसको किसको करना है और क्रेडिट किसको करना है। यहाँ पे तो कोई इशू नहीं है। See, now there is some journal entries. Everyone can see journal entries in their page. We will be discussing about this journal entry, and then we will be solving some questions or problems relating to PL appropriation. So first of all, we will discuss each and every journal entry and try to understand why we are debiting it and why we are crediting any of the item. So first of all, transfer of the balance of PL account to PL appropriation account, है ना? We always transfer profit or loss from PL to PL appropriation. If profit is transferred, so first of all, the first entry is if profit and loss account shows a credit balance, that is net profit. Credit balance show करने का मतलब हमेशा profit and debit balance is always a loss. ये clear है? So if PL account profit दिखा रहा है, so when we are transferring it in PL appropriation, so what will the entry will be? PL account debit to PL appropriation account, because we are transferring profit to PL appropriation. So PL appropriation will be credited, and from where we are transferring it? PL account. So PL account will be debited. And in case of loss, the vice versa, PL appropriation account debit to profit and loss account. So the first entry was related to whether the profit or loss will be transferred to PL appropriation. What will be the entry regarding that? Now we will be discussing about each and every item individually, how the journal will be passed. So starting with interest on capital. Right now we have discussed that interest on capital is an expense for the business. So allowing interest on capital, expenses will be debited. Okay. So when interest will be debited, while writing in PL appropriation, we will be writing PL appropriation account debit to interest on capital account. See, the first entry is of capital accounts, partners capital account. So right now we are not discussing about partners capital account. We will only be discussing about PL appropriation right now. After PL appropriation, we will come to partners capital. Okay. So when interest on capital will be transferred to PL appropriation, then the journal entry will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to interest on capital account. Is this clear to all of you?
Yes, sir.
For interest on drawing, it will be interest on drawing account debit to PL appropriation because it is an income. Interest on drawing is an income for the business, for the partnership firm. So over here, we will always be debiting interest on drawing and crediting PL appropriation account. I will be sharing this PDF in the group. Okay. Now partner salary. Partner salary is an expense or income?
expense,
Expense. So it will be on a debit side of PL appropriation account, shown on the debit side of PL appropriation account. So it will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to salary to a partner. Now remember, only items related to the partners will go into the PL appropriation account. If over here it will be mentioned that only salary, not partner salary, then where the item will be, where will we be showing the item? Either in PL or PL appropriation. If it is mentioned salary, given salary only, पार्टनर सैलरी नहीं मेंशन किया, सिर्फ सैलरी मेंशन किया, तो वो पीएल में जाएगा या पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में?
PL account.
PL account.
वो पीएल अकाउंट में जाएगा. सो रिमेंबर दिस, एकदम दिमाग में बैठा लेना कि ओनली पार्टनर्स expenses, partners income will be debited or credited in PL appropriation account. So when we come to partner salary, it will be profit and loss appropriation account debit to salary to partners. Okay. Same with partners commission. Partners commission is also an expense for the business. So if it is an expense, then the entry will be PL appropriation account debit to commission to partners capital account. है ना? Sorry, PL appropriation account debit to commission to partners. सीधा सीधी to commission to partners account. ठीक है ना? तो PL appropriation यहाँ पे क्यों डेबिट हुआ? क्योंकि ये भी बिजनेस के लिए क्या है? एक्सपेंस है. He is paying, business is paying commission to the partners. जर्नल से कैसे हम लोग पता लगा सकते हैं कि हम whether PL appropriation account is showing profit or loss? We have studied right now journal. So afterwards, how can we say that a business is in profit or is in loss?
If profit and loss appropriation account is debited, then it is a loss. And if profit and loss appropriation account is credited, then it is a profit.
Okay, good. See, wherever we have debited PL appropriation, we will be calculating, we will be adding that on one side. And wherever we have credited PL appropriation, we will be writing it on the other side. Now, if credit side is more than debit, okay? So if credit is more than debit, then it will be shown on the, shown as a profit. It is a profit. Whenever credit is more than the debit, it is always a profit. And when debit is more than credit, it will be a loss for the business. ठीक है? Clear है? समझ में आया सबको?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
ठीक है. अब ये बताओ, इंटरेस्ट ऑन पार्टनर्स लोन हम लोग पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में नहीं दिखाए हैं. वेयर विल इट बी शोइंग इट?
Partners loan account.
हाँ, पार्टनर्स लोन अकाउंट. इन डेबिट और क्रेडिट ऑफ पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन कहाँ जाएगा पार्टनर्स लोन अकाउंट? मतलब इंटरेस्ट ऑन पार्टनर्स लोन, बेसिकली नॉट पार्टनर्स लोन, इंटरेस्ट ऑन पार्टनर्स लोन.
सर इसका अलग अकाउंट बनेगा ना, लोन अकाउंट.
पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में नहीं जाता है. दो ऐसा आइटम है जो पार्टनर से रिलेटेड है एंड वो पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में हम लोग शो नहीं करते हैं. दो आइटम. कौन सा दो आइटम?
पार्टनर्स करंट अकाउंट में जाएगा ना.
देखो, करेंट अकाउंट और कैपिटल अकाउंट दैट इज डिफरेंट. पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट इज डिफरेंट. राइट नाउ हम लोग पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन डिस्कस करते हैं. तो पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में जाएगा कि नहीं, ये पॉइंट है. ठीक है ना? तो हम लोग का दो आइटम होता है जो पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में नहीं जाता है. व्हाट आर दोस आइटम? बता सकते हो?
सर ड्राइंग
नहीं, ड्राइंग्स नहीं, ड्राइंग्स तो जाएगा. दो ऐसा आइटम है, एक है इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन टू द पार्टनर्स और एक है रेंट पेड टू द पार्टनर्स। ठीक है, ये दोनों चार्ज है, ये दोनों अप्रोप्रिएशन नहीं है। चार्ज होने का मतलब है कि वो पीएल अकाउंट में जाएगा। वो चार्ज क्यों है? बिकॉज इफ देयर इज अ पार्टनर, सपोज करो, चलो तुम ही लोग अगर 4 लोग मिलकर के बिजनेस खोले, ठीक है, 4 ऑफ यू स्टार्टेड अ बिजनेस, उसमें से किसी एक का जगह है, तुम्हारा अपना खुद का जगह है जहाँ पे बिजनेस कर रहे हो, सो यू विल बी चार्जिंग रेंट और नॉट, यू विल बी एडिंग दैट रेंट और नॉट इन द बिजनेस कि हाँ रेंट तो लगेगा, ठीक है, मेरा जगह है, आई एम अ पार्टनर, इफ वी ऑल आर इक्वल पार्टनर्स तो रेंट तो लगेगा। सो अगर बिजनेस में लॉस होगा तो क्या ये हम लोग बोल सकते हैं कि नहीं अभी तो बिजनेस में लॉस हुआ है सो वी विल नॉट बी पेइंग द रेंट, जब प्रॉफिट होगा तो पे करेंगे, या पे
नो
करना ही
सर,
पड़ेगा?
पे करना ही पड़ेगा।
पे करना ही पड़ेगा। इट मींस इट इज अ चार्ज and it will be going to profit and loss account in any situation, in any circumstances, वो हम लोग का कहा जाएगा, पीएल अकाउंट में जाएगा, क्योंकि वो चार्ज है। ठीक है, यहाँ पे हम लोग डिस्ट्रीब्यूशन करते हैं प्रॉफिट का, चार्ज को नहीं शो करते हैं। वैसे ही इंटरेस्ट ऑन लोन, अगर कोई पार्टनर लोन दिया है टू अ बिजनेस, सो दे विल बी चार्जिंग इंटरेस्ट फ्रॉम देम, है ना, फ्रॉम द बिजनेस। Whether the business is in profit or in loss, it does not matter. That is why it is also a charge. So 2 items, remember this, this is really important. 2 items, that is rent paid to the partners and interest on loan paid to the partners. These 2 are the items which goes to PL because it is a charge. It is not an appropriation. ठीक है ना? तो अब what is the difference between a charge and appropriation, ये भी समझ में आया?
Yes, sir.
When we will be talking about the charge or appropriation, it means that charge is something which is to be occur, मतलब whether there is a profit or there is a loss, it does not matter. Okay, it will happen. So that is a charge and it will always go to PL account. And appropriation is distribution of profit, means it will be distributed among the partners if there is profit. If there is no profit, it will not be distributed among the partners. Is that clear?
बट सर प्रॉफिट और लॉस एप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट में लॉस भी तो हम बांटते हैं ना पार्टनर्स के बीच।
देखो हम लोग यहाँ लॉस लिखते हैं, बट when we will be writing losses, when there is something that ki, interest on drawings is coming from the partners or any kind of income is coming from the partner, then only we distribute losses, we bring losses to the PL appropriation. Else only we start PL appropriation with the profit. ठीक है, losses are generally not shown in PL appropriation account. There are certain situation when we shows it, so we will be discussing it in a practical questions. When we will be discussing a practical question, then we will be going to know ki when we show the losses in PL appropriation. Now we will be discussing about PL appropriation account. Now all of you, किसी को कोई जर्नल में दिक्कत है? अगर है तो पूछ लो, या अभी तक हम लोग जितना पॉइंट्स पढ़े हैं उसमें से कहीं पे भी कोई दिक्कत है किसी को तो पूछ लो।
नो सर।
कोई भी पॉइंट में दिक्कत नहीं है? एक बार हम लोग वापस से सारा गो थ्रू करके फिर यहाँ पे आते हैं कि एक बार हम लोग क्या पढ़े थे, फंडामेंटल्स अबाउट पार्टनरशिप, कि होता क्या है पार्टनरशिप, मिनिमम नंबर ऑफ मेंबर्स 2 होते हैं, अनलिमिटेड लाइबिलिटीज होता है, अग्रीमेंट होता है, अग्रीमेंट जो होता है वो रिटन भी हो सकता है, ओरल भी हो सकता है। अब खाली ये बताओ कि क्या अग्रीमेंट नेसेसरी है?
नो सर, वॉलंटरी।
नो सर, वॉलंटरी है।
वो वॉलंटरी होता है और उसको हम लोग रजिस्टर करवा भी सकते हैं, नहीं भी करवा सकते हैं, ठीक है ना। तो राइट्स ऑफ पार्टनर्स क्या क्या हम लोग पढ़े थे कि पार्टिसिपेट कर सकते हैं मैनेजमेंट में, दे हैव देयर ओन ओपिनियन एंड दे शुड बी कंसल्टेड बिफोर टेकिंग एनी ऑफ द डिसीजन ऑफ द बिजनेस। ठीक है, assess to all the records and book of accounts, to share profit and loss in agreed ratio, receiving interest on capital, receiving interest on loan, and have the right to retire from the business after giving a proper notice. ठीक, उसके बाद duties. When it comes to duties, it is to properly carry on the business of the firm, to be just and faithful to each other. That is, no one will try to make unwanted advantage of from the other partners. ठीक है ना? उसके बाद to render true accounts and full information of all the things affecting the business, whether it is internal or external. ठीक है ना? Anything that affects the business, it should be come into the book of accounts. Now, to compensate the firm for any of the loss caused by his negligence, ये point भी discuss किए थे ना कि if any partners causes any loss because of his negligence, then he should be the sole responsible. Other partners should not bear that loss because it was made because of the negligence of a single partner or the two partners, whatever be the situation. Okay, and to equally distribute the losses sustained by the firm, it is a duty of a partners. We have discussed about partnership deed, that written agreement is a partnership deed. It is also known as article of partnership and partnership agreement. Just remember, it must be written. There will be no oral. It must be written. ठीक है ना? Partnership deed must be written. It should be signed by all the partners and properly stamped. Properly stamped means any documents of a business should contain a stamp to validate that document. Now, what if the partnership deed will be absent? There will be no partnership deed. So no salary and commission will be allowed. Profit and losses will be shared equally among the partners. Again, no interest is allowed on capital. If partner advances loan to the firm, interest is allowed at 6%. Now see, अगर कभी हम लोग को ये लिखने आ गया ना provision in the absence of partnership deed या बताना हो किसी को, तो इस पॉइंट में ना ये बोलना बहुत जरूरी है. If partner advances loan to the firm, because if we will be saying कि interest on loan will be 6% per annum, तो ये क्लियर नहीं होगा कि किसको हम लोग को इंटरेस्ट दे रहे हैं कि मिल रहा है कि क्या हो रहा है. ठीक है ना? सो इट शुड बी मेड क्लियर कि ये हम लोग लाइन लिखेंगे कि इफ पार्टनर एडवांसेस लोन टू द फर्म, इंटरेस्ट इज अलाउड एट द रेट 6% पर annum. ओके, उसके बाद नो इंटरेस्ट इज चार्ज ऑन ड्राइंग ऑफ अ पार्टनर्स. पार्टनर्स ड्राइंग पे कोई इंटरेस्ट चार्ज नहीं होगा. नाउ टॉकिंग अबाउट पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन, तो हम लोग इसको पूरा ब्रीफली डिस्कस किए ही है कि व्हाट इज द पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन, what is the difference between appropriation and charge. So appropriation is basically a distribution of items, है ना, in profit and loss account. So when we are distributing net profit or net loss, just one thing we should remember, that while making PL appropriation account, we will be assuming ourselves as a business. We will be thinking from the business point of view, not the partner, because PL appropriation जो बना रहा है वो कौन है? बिजनेस है. बिजनेस इज प्रिपेयरिंग. तो हमको ये देखना है कि वो बिजनेस के लिए इनकम है या बिजनेस के लिए एक्सपेंस है. ठीक है ना? और इट इज अ नॉमिनल अकाउंट. सो ऑल द एक्सपेंसेस विल बी डेबिटेड एंड ऑल द इनकम विल बी credited. And if credit side is more than the debit side, then it will be profit for us. And if what if debit is more than credit? It will be a loss for the business. And we have discussed journal entries. क्या किसी journal entry में किसी को दिक्कत है, कोई डाउट है, कुछ पूछना है?
नो सर.
नहीं है, सब क्लियर है यहाँ तक? ठीक है. कौन सा दो आइटम है जो पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में हम लोग शो नहीं करते हैं? याद हो गया होगा अभी तक में. तो
यस सर.
क्या क्या है बताओ.
पार्टनर्स लोन और पेड
by rent.
Rent paid to the partners and interest on partners loan. Interest on partners loan, not just partner loan. ठीक है ना? Those two items are not shown in PL appropriation account. It will be going to PL account. It is a charge. ठीक है? और अगर मेरे बिजनेस में लॉसेस है तो हम इंटरेस्ट ऑन कैपिटल नहीं देंगे, हम सैलरी नहीं देंगे, किसी भी तरीके का कमीशन पे नहीं करेंगे. इन केस ऑफ लॉस नथिंग इज पेड. क्या बोले? लॉस को हम लोग तभी लिखते हैं व्हेन देयर इज अ चांसेस ऑफ सर्टेन इनकम टू कम, दैट इज इंटरेस्ट ऑन ड्राइंग आने वाला है, या और तो उस केस में हम लोग सिर्फ लॉसेस को पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन में रिकॉर्ड करते हैं, लिखते हैं. क्लियर है? अब जब पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट बनाएंगे तो हम लोग क्या लिखेंगे? हेडिंग प्रॉफिट एंड लॉस अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट, एक तरफ डेबिट क्रेडिट पर्टिकुलर्स अमाउंट. दिस इज अ फॉर्मेट ऑफ पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन. All the expenses and losses we will be starting with the loss, that is to यहाँ पे एक चीज खाली इसको rectify करना है कि we have मतलब I have not written to and by on both the side, so इसको ध्यान रखना है कि to और by लिखा हुआ रहेगा, है ना? डेबिट में कुछ भी चीज लिख रहे हैं तो we will be using to, and credit में कोई भी चीज लिख रहे हैं तो we will be using by before that. So to profit and loss, if there is a loss, it will be on the debit side. To interest on capital, to salary to partners, to commission to partners, because all these items are the expense for the business. If there is a profit, it will be credited, that is by profit and loss account, by interest on drawings. ठीक है? So whenever the credit side will be more, अगर क्रेडिट ज्यादा है डेबिट से तो हम लोग के लिए वो क्या होगा? प्रॉफिट होगा. एंड उसको हम लोग कहाँ पे डिस्ट्रीब्यूट करेंगे? पार्टनर्स कैपिटल में. तो हम लोग यहाँ लिखेंगे टू प्रॉफिट ट्रांसफर टू पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट. टू प्रॉफिट ट्रांसफर टू पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट. एंड इफ डेबिट इज मोर देन क्रेडिट तो वी विल बी राइटिंग बाय लॉस ट्रांसफर टू पार्टनर्स कैपिटल अकाउंट. बोलो, क्लियर है यहाँ तक? पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन तक किसी को कोई दिक्कत है?
No,
No,
sir.
sir.
नहीं है ना? चलो, एवरीवन सबके पास बुक है?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट पहले भी प्रिपेयर किए होगे. यू नो हाउ टू प्रिपेयर दिस पीएल अप्रोप्रिएशन अकाउंट. ठीक है? तो तुम लोग का यही काम रहेगा कि यू शुड practice PL appropriation account, and in the next class we will be discussing about partners capital account, then how we will be calculating interest on capital, how we will be calculating interest on drawing. There are many ways, so we will be discussing it in coming classes. So some questions. ठीक है ना? So for today it is this much only. ठीक है? Who is the class representative?
So me, Suyash.
Suyash, please send me the attendance. Okay.